This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
It's Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Here's something we've never done in the podcast, and I'm going to do it right now to set a fine example. Are you ready? I'm going to Purell my hands.
Oh, good.
Got it right here.
Yep, you do. It's in your hand.
First day, Wednesday, January 5th of the Phase 2 lockdown. It's part of the Greatest Hits package. We enjoyed it so much last year. We're doing it in Ontario again this year.
We certainly are.
Day one, how did it go in your house for school? Because you're not there. How'd it
I got
go?
a message. Well, I got a message from my husband just after 8. Breakfast, check. Clothes on, check. That's a big one. And logged into our Chromebooks, check.
Check.
Here we go again was his final thought on that. And I haven't heard anything since. So I'm going to assume that everything is running tickety-boo at home.
And the assumption, of course, is that it will only continue until Blue Monday, which is
17th.
The 17th of January. So today and all next week. So that will be for 8 school days. You guys locked in on that? You all right? How much work was that, putting that together?
Well, as I mentioned yesterday, we had a discussion Monday night. We started to get information from the school on Monday. So how to request technology if needed, how the schedules from both teachers. We got those on Monday, pickup times. All the information from the school came on Monday.
Great.
So Monday night we did sit down and talk and formulate a plan as to how we were going to go through with it. So yesterday I picked up the technology that was needed. I picked up books and duotangs and supplies that were needed. And then last night we set everything out. We got our workstations ready to go. So today they were able to wake up and get ready for school as they would normally for the bus and whatnot. And fingers crossed, log on and get ready. And all things can say, as no news is good news.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. No,
so
for sure. Good.
I'm assuming everything is running as it should this morning.
Teachers and parents and students, we got you. We feel you.
Absolutely. Good luck to everybody today. And thankfully, hopefully, fingers crossed, it will only be until the 17th.
Yeah. Now when you get back, everybody's still going to be safe.
Yep.
That's for sure. Second part of that, we talked this morning too about help out restaurants, because a lot of the other things that are going to shut down or go to diminished capacities is going to be for the next 3 weeks, not the 17th. It'll go to the 26th.
An extra week, yeah.
So things like in dining room, no, everything's going to be takeout.
I slipped it in. I got one more in last night.
Good for you.
A friend and I did. We had been talking about going out for dinner through the holidays and couldn't find the time. And we actually had planned on doing it Friday. And then with the announcement, we're like, okay, let's bump it up.
Yep.
Let's go tonight. So we did. And I'm so glad we did. And there was that part of me sitting in there thinking, it was a little sad. I'll be honest. I felt bad for the servers and for the restaurant owner. And I actually felt good that I was there last night to have a meal inside before it goes back to takeout and delivery, which isn't bad. And we must remember that they're not closed. They're just shifting and adapting as well. So continue to support your local retail and restaurants for sure.
Because it's January and whatever you're going to cook at home is garbage. You're not eating well. Let's eat well.
No, treat yourself. You deserve it.
Let's help our local restaurants. Let's help our neighbors with their jobs. We're all going to get through it. You know what? I saw an interesting thing. You know, when we all started this 2 years ago, we said we're all in the same boat. And somebody says, no, we're not all in the same boat. We're all in the same storm.
Yes.
Some of us have yachts. Some of us have canoes. And if we want to get out of the storm together, those of us in the yachts have to help out the canoes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we're in the yachts, but that whole idea of, not everybody's going through we're all going through the same storm, but we're not getting through it the same.
No.
Some people are going to need more help than other people.
Well,
and so if you can help out, help out. And to me, it's like, take out. It tastes better. I don't have to cook. My wife doesn't have to cook. And we're helping people out. Yeah, it's a good idea. Do it.
Well, and I think back to a conversation we had with Jeff Camacho from Burger Revolution back in the fall when we were coming up with our Burger of the Months and we wanted to help out local organizations. Part of the reason why I went with the mental health center here, the Enrichment Center for Mental Health here in Belleville, was that conversation because he said his staff, it took a toll on them mentally this year, pivoting, trying to keep everybody working, trying to keep his staff safe, himself safe, his customers safe while running this business. So the mental health toll that it took was quite large. And so it kind of hit home for him too, going that way. So let's not forget that.
Yep.
Not everybody it's not the same for everyone. We're all struggling.
And small business owners and entrepreneurs, again, we feel you.
Yeah.
Because people say, well, it's only 3 weeks.
No.
To me, it's not the duration, it's the again. It's happening again.
Exactly.
We thought we were going to be out of it. So everybody do the best you can to get through it. Maybe this will be the last time.
Fingers
Come
crossed.
on, 2022. we want to make everything better. So with that in mind, the Vegas Consumer Electronics Show, you want to talk about better, still going on this week, although the vast majority of the businesses, the Googles, the Amazons, the Facebooks, all of that sort of stuff, the Microsoft, they're doing it distant. They're doing it virtual.
Which is the safe way to do. It's a smart thing to do. Absolutely.
And the vast majority of the people who are covering it and writing about it are also doing it virtually. The keynote speaker, who I believe is the CEO, I should know her name, of General Motors, is providing the keynote address today.
Wow.
So that's really cool. But they announced a few of the really neat things. And just to give you perspective, like way back, I could look up the year 1978. The VCR, the microwave oven, things we would laugh at saying that's not new technology. Well, back then it was.
And now our staples
holy smokes,
in our households. How can you imagine maybe not a VCR, but it led to, look what it's led to. But a microwave, every home has a microwave.
How did we get from you can't watch a movie on your own at home if it isn't on TV to digital in my lifetime?
It's incredible.
So every year
so imagine.
So you think about like the iPhone came out at the Consumer Electronics shows, the CAS they call it in Vegas. iPads, laptops, everything.
Any tech we have right now.
And the new thing they talk about is comfort tech. So the thing that's out this I think is so cool is Kohler, who does bathroom fixtures, has developed a smart tub. And what it does is it hooks up to the plumbing of your bathtub.
Okay.
And through your app, if I have all of this correct, you can then, by presets, fill your bathtub through your phone from anywhere to the temperature you desire and the depth of water you desire and have it ready for you over your phone. And that has got to be the new thing. We're going to wonder, how do we do without that?
Well, there are a lot of benefits to it. It alleviates the fear or the pressure of bathing your child and having it too hot or too deep. There's also the benefit of forgetting that you left the tap on.
Yeah, right.
Running up in a mad dash. Oh no, the tub's running. So especially coming from a rural community, if you live on a well, that can also come in handy too.
Yeah, I never even thought of that.
You can program it so you don't run dry running baths for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is pretty, even driving home and you're after a long day or from a workout and you're thinking, oh, I really would love to soak in a tub right now.
Yeah.
On your way home, just hit the button and it's ready for you when you get home. That's definitely comfort.
And there are 10 presets. So if you
can do
like
it
a bath your way, if you want to do one for the children, one for different children, if there's one for the dog, you could do 10. You could do winter bath.
Wow.
You could do summer bath if it's a little bit cool. Right? Like there are 10 presets that you can set up, hit the button, and then within however long that takes, 10, 12 minutes, what does it take to fill a bath? It would do it for you. And then, as you say, shut the water off. When it reaches that desired height that you've programmed, probably through hit and miss. I don't know how it would determine.
Well, you'd have to play with it a little bit.
Maybe it's the amount of water. You'd have to determine what it is. But isn't that, like, how do we not come up with that one before?
And I'm so curious about this. And I know I keep asking you. So is it the tub or is it the hardware? Because you have different size tubs, right? So it would have to be, I would think it would almost be the tub because of the depth.
No, I think it's the hardware.
Is it? Okay.
I think with the fixtures, because of course the fixture determines when you turn the water on and you turn the water off. So if that's set digitally through the app on your phone, it would know, instead of manually like a television, turning the TV on and off, we can do it by remote. Well, we should be able to turn the water on and off by remote. And if we can do that, why can't we regulate the temperature and the depth? And that's where they've taken this.
That's so neat. That will be, I predict that will be almost, staple's not the right word, but when you're building a new home.
Sure.
That's going to be part of what goes,
How much would you
like
pay
the
for
copper piping.
Yeah.
This will just be automatic.
Yeah. light switches,
Yeah.
indoor plumbing. I'm sure 100 years ago, it was like, no, don't be so lazy.
I could
Have
see
an outhouse.
this being
But how much would you pay now? This is the thing. The price tag now is a little dear.
probably more than what I do want to pay.
$2,700. Yeah, $2,700 American.
that.
But like flat screen TVs when they came out and they were $8,000.
Yes.
And now
It'll go down. Like I said, it'll probably become one of those standard things that you put in a home now. It'll just be
nobody
part of
questions a microwave. Of course it has to be.
Well, a
in there.
programmable thermostat.
Yeah.
Very similar. Or a security system or Alexa. Like when is it going to attach to it? Like it'll become part of it could go so far.
Probably. Yeah.
Alexa,
And-
run my bath, please.
Yeah.
And away it goes.
Way to go. Somebody's listening to the podcast and now their bathtub's running. Who's already got one of those.
Yeah.
But the Consumer Electronics Show, they've got that. Also, John Deere is displaying something, and it's a robot that through artificial intelligence and vision technology, and I'm going to assume, now maybe the user wouldn't be looking through the eyes of the robot, I'm not sure, but it can determine whether it's a plant or whether it's a weed, and therefore would get pesticide. So when we worry about pesticides on our food, this digital robot that can go through a farmer's field can determine
if it's
what
a
is
plant,
a plant
or
what if it's a weed, and it'll only take care of the weed, and none of that would get on your food.
that would be huge. So instead of spraying an entire field, it would be more specific to certain spots.
Yeah, and it's part of a John Deere self-driving mechanism that would have this. So self-driving on the field, and I know that technology exists, and I know that those combines are a ridiculous amount of money. It's a nice home to everybody else. It's a combine to a farmer in price tag. But to have that kind of technology, if we're genuinely concerned about our food, wouldn't you pay a little bit more to know that this technology exists?
Well, and as a farmer too, that lowers his cost of having to spray the field. That can take away from him as well and help that way.
I'm going to assume as well that costs more than $2,700.
I think that's a safe bet.
And I don't know whether that's still.
I don't know what piece of farm machinery even now would cost that.
Yeah.
Like it would be. It's all
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Huge dollars.
So that's what's going on in Vegas this week, and
that's really
we'll
cool.
highlight some of that. But the comfort technology is a new thing. For the longest time, of course, it was communication technology.
Yes.
iPhones and televisions. But they've realized that lifestyle and comfort technology is a whole area where people, I think because of the pandemic, we're at home all the time. We talk about life hacks. So somebody out there is thinking, why aren't we wearing a mask that can determine if I have COVID? And son of a gun, if that isn't being developed right now.
You brought that up this morning because part of last year's show, I remember, was Bluetooth being included in masks. They'd created a mask that had Bluetooth, Wi-Fi capabilities. And so you had brought that up. Well, why can't we just determine if someone has, why is there no sensor or something to indicate when you have your mask on, whether or not you have it or possibly someone around you? Well, they did last spring. MIT and Harvard University designed a novel face mask that can diagnose the wearer with COVID-19 within 90 minutes. So there's a sensor on the mask that if you come in contact or you yourself have developed COVID-19, have caught it, the mask will indicate whether or not that has happened within 90 minutes of wearing it.
You go take your test.
Yep. You go home and isolate.
And it's got to be a prototype, because if those were available,
they would be more widespread. Certainly, we would have known about it instead of having to look. Wait a minute, why haven't they done that?
Yeah.
And sure enough, June of last year, an article was released saying they were working on this tech and they were creating. They've been working on it for the last few years. So 5 or 6 years they've been working on this.
Yeah.
But I think it's pretty safe to say they haven't maybe gotten all the bugs out just yet, but it's there.
Okay, so how much would you pay? How much would you pay for
that
one of those masks?
For one of those masks.
You bought one. Would you spend $100?
Probably. Yeah.
$200? Because somebody out there that's got it figured out, there's a numbers person that's crunching the numbers saying, if we put it at this price point, we can maximize the sales. Somebody would figure it. I wonder, $99? I wonder what it would be.
Look what happened with all of the PPE stuff.
Yeah.
When this first started, the price would definitely go up.
Don't be selling the antigen tests, because that's a whole
That's
other
be next.
market thing too, and people are getting real smacked down on that.
They are.
So stay safe, everybody. Okay, order your takeout, and then tomorrow morning wake up with Mark and Charity Mornings, because we've got our Throwback Thursday. We're taking it back, kicking it old school. To workouts on your Walkman in 1990.
What would you be working out with?
You would have been worked out to Team Marks, MC Hammer, You Can't Touch This, and Team Charity Full.
I think it would be more the CNC Music Factory is going to make you sweat.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, they still use that. We hear it at sports games, and I'm sure there are workout classes around the world that still
I laugh. That's all. You only hear it in casinos.
No, you don't. No. No, you don't.
It's like Dynamite. You only hear that song in casinos these days. So get your votes in on our social media sites. Winning song is coming up after the 8 o'clock news tomorrow morning. And we'll also share which one song, when you hear literally the beginning of it, is such a great motivator, and what makes that song a great motivator. We've got that for you tomorrow morning after 8 o'clock as well. Get your birthdays in. Jimmy Hollywood's got movies and lots more tomorrow morning. On the Thursday, January the 6th, a lot of news that's going to come out of Washington tomorrow on the 1-year anniversary of the attack on the Capitol.
Yes.
So all eyeballs are going to be on that with the news tomorrow. It's a big day. Wake up with Mark and Charity Mornings here on 95.5 Hits FM. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and here off of our social media sites. Enjoy your day. Stay warm. Stay safe.